The Todd Monken era has officially begun. The presser is in. Some very interesting comments, and we're going to do a deep dive into this Monken offense and what Browns fans can expect in 2026. Let's get to the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara, the sickest Cleveland Browns podcast.
Chubb runs, he's to the 10, 15, he's to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There goes Chubb, he's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Shabba-lubba-hub.
It's gonna be sick.
Hey, everybody. Hey, okay. Super Bowl week. We're not in it. One day, maybe Todd Monken is the man to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. Like I said, very interesting opening press conference, I thought. We'll dive into that. But first, make sure you are subscribing to the channel. People, share it. Love to hear your comments back on social media or right here in the chat. Make sure you subscribe. Notifications on. We'll have tons of off-season content here. Mock drafts, getting ready for the draft, combines, all good to go. So make sure you're ready. Follow us too on X at AndyMC81 at SickPodBrowns. You'll find all my sporting news articles as well. I'm pumping those suckers out like nobody's business. So make sure you're checking along there. Give it a click, give it a read. Always appreciate that on Instagram and TikTok too at AndyMCSports, where you will find, by the way, my initial reaction to the Todd Monken hire was not happy. I was furious, to be honest. I wanted Jim Schwartz. But the more I hear, the more I read, the more I see, the more I've calmed down. Maybe Jim Schwartz has calmed down too. The more I'm thinking, you know what? Todd Monken may be the right hire after all. Jimmy Haslam came and said, oh, he's a front runner for the whole time. Okay, Jim, maybe. What's he going to say? He was third choice? No. But there seems to be an alignment there. And I thought interesting as well that Monken said, in 2019, when he was here for that 1 year under Freddie Kitchens, he said that his introduction actually to the team was through Andrew Berry, and that he felt that they were aligned in thought, how to build a team, all that. I don't know if that encourages me over, but it means that there's alignment, that they're on the same page, and you got the no-nonsense look of Todd Monken. So I'm excited. I want to know what you guys think. I'm getting excited. I'm getting pumped about what this offense can do. It's now up to Andrew Berry, of course, hopefully with input from Monken on how to get the talent level on the offensive side up and figure that out. So let me know what you think. Comments on X at SickPodBrowns at AndyMC81. Follow there, and TikTok and Instagram at AndyMCSports. But let's bring in our good buddy. He's a man that breaks film down like no other, and we've had him on for different hirings, start season, mid-season, just to get a different feel and really dive deep on what Browns fans can expect. It's unanimously feedback, one of the favorite segments that people tell me is when Lance Reisland, our guy from 92.3 The Fan, former Cleveland coach, comes on the show. Lance, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Andy.
Happy to have you on. First of all, your reaction to the press conference from Todd Monken. He was, he was cussing a little bit. He was blue collar. He was got emotional. What were some of your takeaways?
Well, the thing you like about Todd Monken is he's a football guy. So those of us who are a little bit older, he kind of gives me my dad vibes, and I'll be at that age sooner than later. So the thing that I like is he's going to give you honest kind of approach. But what people got to understand, people love McVay, people love Mike McDaniel. This guy has a lot of those things in terms of the eye candy and what he's going to do offensively. He's not a guy that's stuck in a system. And that's the first thing I will tell everyone. The reason I liked the Todd Monken hire from the start, once again, it had nothing to do with Schwartz, because I love Schwartz, but it had to do with what I think he can do. And he's a players over plays guy. So he's not a scheme guy. He has all the schemes. And that's what happens when you're old. You know a lot of different stuff. And so, but what he is, he's a guy. And the thing I liked about his press conference is we got to score more points than the other team. And when you're a young coach and a young offensive coach, even at the high school level, I was always worried about how many stats did I have? How much did we gain? What did we do in the red zone? What did we do on first down, third and medium? And then as I got older and I was calling plays, I'm like, did we win or did we lose? And that's kind of what ends up happening. So I think people like his innovation, the innovation with the idea of having some old school physical kind of foundation. So it's going to be a very good fix. And the thing that I will tell everyone is that he's going to find ways to score. He has everywhere he's been, regardless of whose talent is. So you can expect right now Fannin and Judkins to be the primary guys, but they're going to go out and get some guys. And once again, I always believe I never lose a game before I play it. So I'm excited to see what he does, and we'll go from there.
I'm totally with you. And I liked how you said no scheme. And some people thought, and maybe it partly was, a bit of a cop-out answer. I didn't see it that way. I'm like you, because we've seen him produce points and win in different places in a variety of ways. And his former bosses, John Harbaugh, Kirby Smart, have said as much. Like, look at Georgie. It's Stetson Bennett. You think Stetson Bennett is the same as Lamar Jackson? No. Right? Like you have a whole bunch. When he was with the Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston throwing consecutive 4,000 yards, threw a lot of interceptions too. That's not Todd's fault. But there's a whole bunch of different ways. So I like that. It's like, because we so often, it's like, this guy doesn't fit my system. Monken will fit the system to the players. And now it's up to Andrew Berry and hopefully input from Monken to find out, okay, who are the wide receivers we need? How are we going to put an influx of talent on this team? And I think an overlooked spot might be, too, George Warhop coming back to the Browns. Someone, Hall of Famer Joe Thomas, spoke up quite a bit.
Yeah, Warhop and, Schweitzer, these guys are all good. The foundation is going to be physical. The foundation is going to be hand placement, foot placement, attention to detail, passion, energy, doing the little things correctly day in and day out. It's not what you say, it's what you do. And I think that's going to be the key for this offense and what people got to understand, it's not that he doesn't have a scheme. He has a bunch of schemes, but what he does is he's going to, they're going to run zone. They're going to run gap. They're going to do some different things, but they're going to find, it's going to be a week-to-week basis. They're going to find matchups. They're going to take their best players and attack the weakest players of the opposing teams. And if the best way to look at that for everybody who's kind of like, what is this guy talking about? Look at Cooper Kupp in the Super Bowl a couple years ago on that last drive when they threw it to him every play. That's kind of the what makes McVay different. And I think what makes Todd Monken a little bit different too is that this is not a system. We're going to find our best players. We're going to use a bunch of eye candy, and we're going to make sure they touch it. And I'm excited for that because it kind of you have to get some pieces, but regardless, you have to go out and you have to improve the offensive line, and you have to get some skill players because in the end, they don't have the players to be players over plays right now, but I think they can get there quickly.
Right. And for Monken saying that too, right? Like we have elite players. It's not about schemes. And that's where, before we get to the system, where his comments about Jim Schwartz were interesting. And I didn't take it that he meant anything negative by it because he's an honest, straightforward dude. But if you just read the words, comes out a little strong because he said, hey, I got a lot of respect for Jim Schwartz. He was asked if he's going to come back. Said, we've talked, him and Jim. But he said, quote, I didn't take this job for Jim Schwartz. I didn't game plan on chipping Jim Schwartz. I game planned on stopping Myles Garrett when he was with the Ravens. So I thought that was pretty telling. What are your comments on that?
Well, once again, I will say this. First and foremost, the last person that wants to get in the way of Todd Monken is Schwartz. This is football coaches are a very tight-knit group, and he doesn't want to be – his frustration has nothing to do with Todd Monken. His frustration has to do with Andrew Berry and everybody else involved, right? And Jimmy Haslam and everybody else. So that's where his frustration level is. Because as a head coach, when you get passed over, they're saying you're good and we want you, but you're not good enough to be our head coach. And there's a pride level a factor there. And this is the guy who's also older. Now, two things. One is being older, maybe Todd Monken can work with him. But in my experience with my dad and 45 plus years of football, when you get passed over, it's time to move on. And it works out. I hope so. But my gut feeling tells me it won't. And that's okay too. Because you have to make moves. You have to do different things. And I think Jim Schwartz did an incredible job, and I would love to have him back. And this defense is really important. And people are like, oh, there's great players. It's not the great players that'll be lost without Jim Schwartz. Myles Garrett, Schlesinger,
they'll be fine.
They'll be fine. It's Devin Bush. It's Tevin Campbell.
Yes.
These guys that fit this system. Malik Collins, Hickman. These guys fit the system. They won't be as successful without them. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it wasn't negative at all, and that's exactly how he should be. He's a veteran guy. He's earned this spot. Doesn't have to be sorry for anybody. And that's what you want out of your head coach. Obviously, Jim Schwartz is really good at what he's done, and they've invested a lot of money on that side of the ball. So you'd like to see him stay for sure.
Yeah, and it might be an internal candidate, something like a Tarver linebacker coach who's been a DC before to keep, because Monken also said that the defense won't change. So that leads me to believe possibly an internal candidate. So that'll be very interesting to follow. Lance, I want to bring up here, and Jimmy, if you could get ready, the first picture there, as we look at the Todd Monken offense, okay? And this, again, can be adaptable, but just some things that Monken has done, if you can take us through this.
Well, you're going to see here, this is going to be, a counter play where they're going to use motion. So there's going to be a lot of motion. Now, Kevin didn't use a lot of motion, but it was extra. This is not extra. And when you do something extra in football, you get away from it in the heat of battle. This is just a counter. And what it does, that when they motion out, you're going to see Walker. This is from a couple years ago, Monken's first year. Mm-hmm. The backer's going to go with motion, which leaves a light box. Then the motion will also leave Okoronkwo. Now, what he did against the Browns is he ran counters and crunches and wheels. And kind of the game plan for the Browns, which was different than what I scouted before they got the Browns. The game plan against the Browns was, let's let this defensive line get upfield. We're going to trap them. We're going to counter them. We're going to crunch them. And then we're going to stay away from Martin Emerson and Denzel Ward, and we're going to attack the safeties and the linebackers in the pass game. So this is just a simple counter where the offensive right side, so our left as you're looking at the picture, they're going to block down inside. This is a simple gap scheme. The left guard's going to pull. He's going to kick out Okoronkwo, who is coming upfield because that's what the Browns defensive linemen do. He's going to be an easy kick out, and then the fullback's going to lead up through. Now, the key to this is that the motion takes Walker out of there, and that's what the eye candy does. And the motion that he's going to use, the shifts, the movements, it's going to create a clear picture for the quarterback. And once again, the lighter you can make the box, but this counterplay comes down to what they're going to do against teams that are aggressive. This was his plan, and this was the counterplay that ended up being a huge hit early in the game a few years back.
All right, let's go to the next one here. Jimmy, pop number 2 up as we take a look.
Right here, you get crunched. So if you look at the offensive right side, our left side, looking at it, you can see there's 3 lines. So crunch basically means they're going to let the lineman go upfield. So Ricard, if you see, he's the guy off the ball a little bit. He's going to go to his left, and he's going to crunch the 3 technique. The right guard's going to pull to his left and crunch the 2-eye, and then the left guard's going to pull to his left. Now, that's going to influence the backers all to go to their right side. But the defensive line is getting upfield. So, again, they're going to get the defensive lineman upfield. They're going to use leverage and use angles. So there's going to be 3 trap blocks there, and that's why they call it crunch, right? So you're going to get 3 guys pulling. They're going to trap 3 guys that are coming upfield. They're going to let those guys come upfield because that's what the Browns do. Now, to influence those linebackers, they're going to influence left. So they're going to crunch it left, but by them pulling to their left, the linebackers will step to their right, which is going to create easy angles for the linemen to get to the second level, the guys who are not pulling, the left tackle, the center, and the right tackle. So it creates a great kind of leverage angles. This is a crunch play the reason I have this play on here, this is a play he's run every time he has faced the Browns. He's had tremendous success against the Browns with this crunch play. In fact, the Bears ran it, and teams, he kind of set the blueprint. Even though the Browns have had great success, Todd Monken has the most success kind of creating this blueprint of letting these guys go upfield, trapping them using angles, and then you'll see in the next one with the pass game how they affects the pass game. So again, this is crunch. You can see those guys getting upfield. They get trapped, and then they get to the second level, and there's no one left. Really nice job, again, week to week, finding matchups, attacking strengths, using what we do well on offensive side of the ball, and going from there.
So you mentioned the pass game. Let's pull up the last one here, Jimmy, and take a look at a pass play setup.
So the play starts, and you can see the 2 circles. So the play start, every time you see I've had people ask me, why does that back go in motion real slow all the time before the play starts? And that's simply to tell the quarterback what coverage is it. So when the running back is outside where that white circle is, when he's outside and he comes back in, the yellow circle, which is JOK at this time, he's the linebacker. So being outside, if it was a zone coverage, that would just be a corner. The linebacker would be inside. But with the back starting outside and JOK being outside with him, when the back comes back inside and JOK goes back inside with him, it tells the whole offense that they're in man coverage. Now, the receiver inside, he's going to run a spot route. So because the receiver now knows that JOK has the back, he will run right at him. They'll run a little rub or spot or pick route right at JOK because he knows that JOK has the back who's on the rail route or the wheel route coming out. This is a big play. So again, let's stay away from the corners. Let's stay away from Martin Emerson. Let's stay away from Denzel Ward. Let's make the linebackers cover. As good as JOK is, he's better in the box than he is covering.
Right.
Let's make Hickman cover. Let's make Delpit cover. Not that these guys can't do it, but they can't cover at the level that Newsome and Emerson can. So simple. Just think about how simple this is. Just by simply taking the receiver. So if think about this, Andy, if that back lined up in the backfield, you wouldn't know if it was zone or man because the backer would already be inside.
Right.
So by simply going from the outside to the inside, it tells the quarterback it's man. So once JOK ran inside, Lamar Jackson knows right away. And that's exactly how he was taught. Lamar, if JOK is out there with him and he goes inside, you know it's man, work the back on the wheel. Receiver knows I got to pick JOK. It's very, very simple. It's the word I like to use with Todd Monken is it's the illusion of complexity. This looks real complex. It's not. It's a simple rail route, and you dictated that you knew it man coverage. You created a clear picture for your quarterback. That's what he'll do for the Browns quarterbacks.
I love it. And simple. How often did we see under Stefanski where it seemed so complicated and nobody got open, right? Here, the way you laid it out, somebody's getting open and it's nice and simple. I love that. Lance, fantastic breakdown, man. I love it, buddy. You could talk all day with this. And look, before the draft, we're going to have you on again because we got to dive into these juicy draft picks that the Browns get to have as well. So that's going to be a ton of fun. Look, you are everywhere. You're on the Fan. You're writing and tell people where they can find you.
Well, I'm on the Fan Tuesday nights. We actually not this Tuesday, but normally on Tuesday nights from 7 to 9, I do a off-season special with Jake Volnick and Daryl Ryder. I'm on Cleveland.com. I do a bunch of articles on Cleveland.com. You can find me on Instagram or X. It's just at Lance Reisland, LanceReisland. Just for a bunch of breakdowns and things that kind of what the Browns are going to be doing. I'll start getting up I think the Browns need to get tackles and receivers. So that'll be my first two that everybody sees. And I'll have a kind of mini version of a draft analysis where I'll have top 10 guys at each position and just some guys that maybe fit the Browns or what system they would fit. And once again, just talking football and learning myself from other people who know football very well and getting information out there that I know myself.
Love it, buddy. Well, we're going to dive into that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. We'll talk soon.
All right. There he goes. Lance Reisland from 92.3 The Fan and Cleveland.com. Always feel smarter after talking to Lance. Isn't that great? Just that little, I can't stress enough how often the last 2 years screaming at the TV and look at no one's open. All this complicated. And then you throw it away or it's incomplete. What looks like for Todd Monken is everybody can get open on every play like that. Like the example he showed. Either running back open or the wide receiver in the slot. Boom. You got your quick option. And you do that until something big opens up. Combine that with the run. Love it. I'm getting excited about the Monken era. I want to know if you're excited about Todd Monken's offense and who you want for defensive coordinator. Also, Super Bowl. We got to have a DraftKings Sportsbook pick, right? Come on. I got a couple here. Patriots are covering that 4.5, folks. I'm telling you right now. -105 on the DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm looking right now. Patriots covering that 4.5. I'm going to be taking the under that 45.5. This is going to be a defensive battle. I don't see this being a game where you're going to be chucking up a whole bunch of points. I think it's a defensive battle. I'm going to take the under. That's decent money too at -105. Those are the two top plays. And, for Super Bowl MVP, depends who you think's going to win. Drake May's paying +240, right? And Sam Darnold +115. Might do a little sprinkle on Drake May. But whatever you do, make sure you are getting to the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, which makes every playoff moment feel bigger. DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop that goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 6sports. That's code 6sports to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
There you go. Thank you so much to our guest, Lance Reisland from 92.3 The Fan and Cleveland.com. And for producer Jimmy, I'm Andy McNamara. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Brown season is kicking up big time. Combine, draft coming up. Cannot wait. Follow us on all socials to make sure you're getting the latest content and showtimes at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81 on X, on Instagram and TikTok, at AndyMC Sports, and check out my articles on the Sporting News. I post those to all the social as well. The hot Browns news you need. We'll see you next time. Go Browns!
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Andy McNamara on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.